And it rained. And it rained over the highway that led to oblivion. And it rained over the woods that led to salvation. And it rained over Red Step, and it rained all over the country. And it rained all over the county. It rained over dogs in their break, and it rained over the people who chased them. It rained over the few homeless, disguising their tears on their faces, and it rained over the many indifferent, covering the lack of shame in their faces. The drizzle that became a rain sounded on our roofs like the punches of a mad god, drunk with the wine of rage, and the fair shame at seeing his creation. Mankind, the two-legged aberration that rules the world from the depths of ignorance. And for some time, it really felt as if God was spitting on us. Did we deserve it? We couldn't have known it yet, of course. Well, such intense rain was the last straw in our systems. We will learn later that our long-forgotten water pipes were full, and that with every single rain, they'd gotten fuller. Or something. Hey, I'm no engineer. I don't know the details. I heard them. I didn't understand them, but I accepted. Because all of this happened to us. Happened to me. What I do know is that the old pipes broke under the streets and the water pressure broke the asphalt itself. Simultaneously, or in a very short time, 8 towers of water had erupted from below ground, reaching a height of almost 20 feet. Inside our homes, something broke too. Our sinks flooded our homes in a matter of minutes. Had the water up to our knees. I was fortunate enough to live in one of the hills around town. The height let me just open the door and let the water go out. It still ruined my furniture to some degree, but it wasn't life-threatening. Most others were not so fortunate. In the hospital, the water reached 5 feet in the main floor, forcing the staff to move up. Leaving all the equipment below. In the police station, the water reached 6 feet in their only floor. The officers had to evacuate the building and take with them Crazy Bob, the only person in their cell. Arrested for trying to pick a fight with a statue in the main and only square. Aye, he was a drunk. All the time. The firefighters lost their own station. The water moored their trucks for the lack of better work, and they had to work with whatever makeshift methods they could improvise to take people out of their houses in the lowest zones of the city. Of course, that was just the first hour. After that, there simply wasn't enough of them to rescue all the people they needed to rescue. Most of those less fortunate got to their houses' roofs. Some braved the water, trying to reach the hills. And most who couldn't make it, their bodies were recovered a week later. But some did, including Jessica, a 20-year-old athlete who drug herself to my door, shivering and out of breath. I knew her mother. We grew up together. And I let her in. And it amazed me how grateful she was. At that point, we didn't know how dire the situation at Red Step was. They thought she was the only one who swam to higher ground. Even gave her a low-key paternal speech in the dangers of what she did. Now I just wish I could have bit my tongue. She was right. I was wrong. I gave her a blanket, and we stood in my door, looking at the city, as the thunder deafened us and the water that splashed to the door blurred our sights. "Can you believe it?" she said. "It's our town." I nodded several times. "Don't worry," I said. "It will be over soon. It can't rain forever." "No, it can't rain forever. But it can rain for 3 days straight. Intensity only lowering enough to give some breathing space as a cruel joke of some sadistic god. Again I ask myself if we deserve it. But it is in vain. I already know the answer. The world doesn't give a fuck about what anyone deserves. I still have to make my mind about if that is better or worse. For another story, tune in next Tuesday. Meanwhile, watch another video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check the description for our social media. And sleep well.
If you can.